Hello, changelings, and welcome to the Night Garden. I'm VampireAntihero, and this is Conquer Thy Fear Studio. Hey everyone, welcome back. I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I know a lot of artists struggle with, and I also have struggled with in the past. And that is the idea of taking risks with your art and leaving your comfort zone. This is so important when it comes to growth as an artist. Even working as a professional, I know that there are plenty of ways that I can improve my art, and that I'm nowhere close to the best artist there is, or even the skill level of some of my favorite creators. And that's okay, that's what learning and growth are for. As artists, it's easy to get stuck in the way that we make things, especially when we've hit a point that our art is good or even impressive to other people. We get comfortable in how we create. The problem with getting comfortable is that we get complacent. And when we get complacent, we get bored. This is when motivation gets hard to find, or when we start to struggle with art block and figuring out ideas. And I've touched on this before in other videos. What is the best way that we can change our mindset towards art? How do we break our complacency? The best way to beat that block is to come up with ways that challenge us. And how do we challenge ourselves? You can see where I'm going with this. Taking risks with our art can be daunting, and we can immediately turn away an idea because it's out of our comfort zone. Even as an experienced creator who loves what they do, art is incredibly hard and takes time, effort, and knowledge to complete. And that's great! The effort and knowledge are what makes us all different as artists and winds up giving us our unique styles. But say you're a portrait artist and you come up with an idea for a character in an incredibly intricate background. Do you immediately shut it down because it's scary? There's actually interesting psychology behind this, and I'm not a psychologist, so I won't go into the inner workings of fear and how that works because it's not my wheelhouse, and I don't want to say something wrong. But essentially, the easier that we make something for ourselves, the more likely we are to do it. If something terrifies us, we will avoid it at all costs. So if taking risks is going to help us, but the risks themselves will terrify us and stop us from taking the risk, how do we handle that? Well, personally, my first go-to is to sketch an idea as a thumbnail. And I've already made an entire video on thumbnails, I won't go into why they're great here, but the core of using a thumbnail is to make an idea solid. And what that does is it tells us in 5 to 15 minutes if an idea is going to be visually engaging, whether or not it's interesting, or whether or not our composition will work. This is priceless. After all, if you look at something that will take 60 hours total and not be guaranteed to work, would you take the steps to start? What about something that takes 5 minutes? I'd personally be willing to spend 5 minutes doing something uncomfortable. A funny thing happens once you start concepting what you're thinking about. You put your brain aside and start looking at the scribble that you've made, and suddenly you get excited. You're already starting to work out in your brain how something will work, how it will visually look, what will help you sell the illusion of the illustration. These are all things that are fun for us as artists. These are puzzles that we love to solve. I used to be a strictly waist up only, no backgrounds kind of artist. Now I find that my figures are my weakest aspect of my art, but I absolutely love doing environments. This exploration that you're currently watching is for a piece that 6 months ago I never would have attempted. And on that as well, if I weren't making this video with this footage right now, people likely would never see this side of this work. And that's okay. Part of experimenting and taking risks is being okay with the thought that you have to do a few stepping stones before you get to the final piece, or that you won't be sharing some of the things you've worked on unless you want to, like if you have a Patreon or a Ko-fi, and you want to share the behind the scenes. Sure, go for it, I do that with my Ko-fi. But people don't need to see your exploration before you get to the final piece. This particular recording started with me being low on ideas and going to a prompt generator. It gave me the prompt Veteran Demon Hunter. With that, my brain started rolling. I knew I wanted to make an image of a hunter standing in the light made by a cross in a likely abandoned church, and I wanted it to feel like danger was lurking nearby. I also didn't want to go into the stereotypical idea of a demon hunter being like a white priest, or even part of the Christian or Catholic religion if I could signify something else. I knew I wanted to bring in elements of the Old West, which is why I went with the general outfit options that I did, but also I knew that you wouldn't see much detail in the size of the character in relation to the emptiness that I found in the scene as I was doing the thumbnail exploration. Ultimately, this piece isn't started yet, but with this exploration, it's way less daunting than if I were to just sit down and try to start with the full idea. I hope that this makes sense. Maybe try to make something outside of your comfort zone and see how that goes for you. You might surprise yourself or hit a breakthrough. Either way, happy creating. I'm going to let the music take over for now, but either way, until the next time the sun goes down, I hope that you all take care of yourselves, drink your water, and do what you can. I love you all. you made it to this part of the video, thank you for watching. I hope that I was able to motivate and inspire you today. If you like what I do, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And as always, thank you to my wonderful coffee patrons, the lovely Rosie T and Life is Great. I couldn't keep doing this without you guys. I also have a Ko-fi where you can donate, subscribe to a monthly membership, or check out some of my merch for sale. You will also get access to sketches, works in progress, and exclusive desktop and phone wallpapers if you subscribe. If you'd like to see more content, I regularly post on Twitter, and I'm live on Twitch 3 to 4 days a week. I hope that you all have a fantastic day, and until next time the sun goes down, keep yourself safe, drink your water, and do what you can. I love you all.